long as we can. I know we would appreciate that. Of course, all the hundreds of folks gathered up and down High Street, they would appreciate it too.
But they are prepared no matter what. I mean, you look up and down the street and you see people with their hats on. Some have some rain jackets near them just in case. But yes, no doubt we have a great turnout. Let's talk about some facts of this day, shall we?
All right.
It started in 1884. This is one of the longest running Memorial Day parades in the nation. That's incredible.
There's so much rich history, American history here in Hampton Roads, specifically on this side of the water in Portsmouth, that it's no huge surprise that the dedication to honoring and remembering goes back well into the 1800s here.
Well, and remembering, I think is the most important part of today. You know, we're here at a parade. It's lively. People are happy, smiling, but it is important to remember why we really are gathering on a day like today, and it's to honor the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
You know, there are so many of us who, you know, may have connections to the military here in our lives. Of course, whether you grew up here in Hampton Roads, whether you came to this area from someplace else, and so many of us also, sadly, are connected to people who have served our country and who are no longer with us, losing their lives in honor of this country. The name that comes to mind for me personally is Cody Childers. You might know his mom, Wendy, and the We Care Marines Foundation. One of the many names here in Hampton Roads that is forever inscribed into our hearts, gone way too soon, but we have things like today with this parade to carry their memory and their names on forever.
Yeah, it really makes you proud to be an American and proud to be from Hampton Roads, especially on a day like today. We have all branches of the military, I believe, represented here. We have, you know, the Navy obviously is huge, but the Army, we have Marine Corps. Everybody is here in Hampton Roads.
And we're going to hear from a guy in a few minutes who's going to stick up for that Army part too. You know, what's it like to be an Army guy in a Navy town? We're going to get some insight on that coming up in just a few minutes. Now, here's how the parade's going to roll today.
Let's talk about that.
So kick it off right at 10 o'clock, a couple of minutes ago, just down the street, not too far at IC Norcom High School. That's over at the corner of High and I believe it's Peninsula. So it's going to make its way down High Street through the historic part of Old Town Portsmouth. Then the reviewing stand, that's where the really important people are.
Yeah, we're not there. We're down the road a little bit.
We're a block or two adjacent to the important people. But you've got the mayor, the city council folks, the dignitaries, a nice special band. That's in the reviewing stands right outside of the old courthouse in the corner of High and Court. So that's about a block upriver from where we are.
Yeah, so when the program gets started, you're going to see folks, everybody that's involved in the parade coming from behind us and walking past us. It's going to be cool to see who we saw last year because Blaine and I'm not sure if you were watching last year, but if you were, we were out here, and that was really cool to see who has returned and what their show is going to be for this year's parade.
I love a couple of things in this parade that we watch every year. Number one, the bands, because you get some great live entertainment, especially now that the rain has stopped. We're not going to worry about the water getting into those instruments, but the loud bands, we see all the different military branches represented. But I got to tell you, Aaron, maybe my favorite part, just the kid in me, those tiny little cars. The tiny cars get me every time.
I thought you were going to say the children that are out here because
we love the children, sure, but the tiny cars, that's one of the best parts.
Yeah, it is, and it's really just fun to see so many people that are out here today. Blaine and I were also joking that we're on puppy watch because so many people have brought their dogs out and they're being patriotic as well. But great day. We also have some other things that we need to share about one of our sponsors today.
Yes, News 3's coverage of the Memorial Day Parade is brought to you by Velocity Clinical Research in Portsmouth, doing clinical trials and studies involving vaccines for infectious illnesses or medications for conditions like acne, diabetes, high cholesterol, and more. Let's learn a little bit more about them right now.
I am here now with Jeanette Lee, Regional Director for Velocity Clinical Research, proud sponsor of the 2023 Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade telecast. Jeanette, thank you so much for bringing today's parade to our viewers. Why was it important for you to do so?
Well, thank you for having us here. Velocity is big on supporting our local community, and we're just excited to be a part of something bigger than us at Portsmouth and with our vets.
Yeah, and you all are right there in the community. Why is it important to have a business in Portsmouth?
We are a clinical research facility, as you know, and we do provide a lot of treatment services, and it's just a privilege for us to be in the community, in that area, to be able to offer those services to those that may not have the opportunity to have that anywhere else.
All right, well, thank you so much for bringing it to our viewers. Jeanette Lee, we appreciate you. Back to the parade.
Yes, back here live at the parade. I have a very, very special guest with me now. Blaine kind of alluded to Irv earlier today, but this is Irv Lindley, a retired Army colonel. Thank you so much for being here today, Irv.
Well, thank you so much. We want to thank Channel 3 and all the citizens of Portsmouth for coming out. The weather was just unbelievably changed, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great day.
Thank goodness the rain is holding off, at least for now. So we have to start this off by talking Army guy, Army colonel in a Navy town. Tell me a little bit about the rivalry, so to speak, but why it's still all in good fun.
Well, when I retired, I'm from Pennsylvania. We moved down here surrounded by the Navy, Coast Guard, and everybody but Army. And it's been a lot of fun. They take my flag and they turn it around but go Army, beat Navy. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We did it last year. We're going to
do it again this year. Let's talk about, on a more serious note, the importance of today. You obviously serving our country for so many years. Why is today important?
Today is so important because the people that made the commitment and they died serving their country, and this is this reaction to remind them of those people, because we've been so lucky to be able to have this, tell them how much we care about them and the families. And so that's what we're working on the committee at the city. We're working with each of the shipyard and the Coast Guard and the hospital over there to mental health, a lot of different things to help people along and thank them for their service.
Yeah, because you are part of the Portsmouth Mayor's Military Affairs Committee,
yes,
correct?
I am.
Tell us a little bit more about that and why it's important to have that representation here in Portsmouth.
Well, our mission at the committee is to what can the city do for the military and what can the military do for the city. And so we have a lot of people that help out with cleaning up streets, different things to help the city better. And then we also have sessions on mental health and things like that to help them along. And the Navy's doing mentoring of children and reading, things like that. And it's those things that tie us together.
So important to actually see the physical support rather than just saying thank you for your service, to actually have some reinforcement for that too. What is one thing you want the public to know? We have, to all of our viewers at home, what do you want them to know about military service to our country and today, really just as a whole, as they're gathering with their families and spending every day here in Hampton Roads?
Well, I just think it's so important to remember what is going on here. And we're trying to avoid it happening again. But they're getting a flavor of what it means to have this camaraderie like this on the sidewalk, the flags, the cheering, the fans. And it is so important that we help them as they help us.
Yeah. Colonel, thank you so much for being here with me today. I feel like I have to give you my flag. You earned this way more than I did, so thank you so much for your time and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Channel 3.
Of course, we need to send things over now to Blaine Stewart. He's always up to something, so he's
all
chatting
right.
with people in the crowd. Let's see what he's up to now.
All right, thank you.
All right, Aaron, I'm here on High Street, just about a block or so away from where you are. I don't think you are able to see it, but with my super spidey senses, they're tingling. I do see flashing lights. I do see some folks marching. The parade is not that far away, but we do have time. Take a look at this amazing crowd here on High Street, all ready for the big parade. We're going to make the rounds here. Let's start with my friend Sue. My friend Sue over here. I know you can't just follow me over here for a second. Sue, I want you to stand up and show off this shirt, because that's a thing of beauty right here.
Isn't that pretty? That's
nice?
my pretty shirt.
Now, you're a Portsmouth native, so how long have you been coming to this parade?
For years, as long as they've been having it.
For years. Well, you weren't here in the 1800s, Sue.
Well,
You were there in spirit.
almost.
You were there in
Yeah,
spirit.
there you go.
It was good to see you, Sue, and the family. Thanks so much for stopping out. Everybody's got their flags out today. I noticed you've got your flag hat on there, too. What makes today so special for you?
Oh, just celebrating and remembering. I mean, we love America, love our military. Yeah.
And the remembering part, that's something that you got to remember. Today is the day that we set aside to honor and remember our service members. Remember earlier we were talking about those awesome sailors handing out the flags? Shout out to y'all. You're doing some good work today. We appreciate that. And then we have this lovely young lady right here. Your shirt says All American Girl. What's your name?
Jimmy. Jordan May.
Jordan, that's a beautiful name. Well, thanks for coming out today, getting all decked out. We're doing a Dogs of Memorial Day parade as well. You're a beauty. Hi, sweetheart. Okay, decked out in your little flag there too. We love it. What's your name, buddy?
Joshua.
You sure? Joshua. Okay, cool. Tell me a little bit about what you're excited to see today in the parade. A lot of bands, the little trucks.
Yeah.
We'll check back in with you later, see if you change your mind, okay? We got some great hats. We got to show off the fashion here of the Memorial Day Parade. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so you've got the kids out here. Why is it important for them to learn about Memorial Day?
Well, their dad is in the parade and holding one of the flags today, so he's in the military, and they asked him if he could do the parade again for them. So they're really excited to see Daddy walk in the parade and hold the American flag, right? Because does Daddy protect our country? Yes.
And that's got to be extra special, you know, for them to be able to see Dad, but also for you as a mom and for parents to be able to instill that in them.
For sure, absolutely. They love learning about new things, and this is something that we can do every year as a family, whether Daddy's in the parade or not, and just remember the country. So.
Well, we thank you so much for being out here today. And the weather certainly has held up. I mean, the sun is poking through the clouds. It's almost too warm for this jacket. We've got this nice looking couple right here. How do you think about this weather?
Oh, the weather's beautiful. I'm just glad it stopped raining.
You and me both, because otherwise I'd be out here looking like a wet dog, and nobody wants to see that. Let me ask, how long have you been coming to the parade here in Portsmouth?
Oh, I grew up in Portsmouth. I've been coming for years.
What are the things you look forward to seeing when you're out here?
I look forward to seeing the veterans, the ones that didn't make it home. So it's good to be out here to support them.
I know it's good too to see all the kids.
And all the kids are excited about it.
We're teaching the next generation about the meaning,
exactly.
right?
We're teaching them.
All right. Well, we thank you for being out here today. They're smart too. Look, because whether it's rain or sunny, they've got their little covers. They're good to go. They don't play around. They've done this before. How are we doing today? Now, this gentleman here in the Lakers jacket said, "You've got to put me on TV." All right. So come on in here, sir. How long have you been coming to this parade?
About 25 years.
About 25 years.
Yes.
What brings you out here every year?
The atmosphere, my family, everybody's like a family, you know. A lot of people I grew up with and everything, you know, always. And we have a good time.
There's enough division in the world today. We can all be one.
Hey, we all gonna be brothers and sisters. That's what I tell you.
There you go.
That's right.
What's your name, sir?
Irv Lindley.
Sir, let me shake your hand. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, brother.
Appreciate talking with you
When
today.
you get 10, come and have a chicken and waffle with me.
Chicken and waffles?
Yeah.
Say no more. All right, I'm there, man. Chicken and waffles. You know the way to my heart. Listen, we've got to bring one more person. Lakeisha, get over here. I told her we were going to do this. I don't think she believed me. This is my friend Lakeisha. She was the first person who came up to me today when we got out here. Lakeisha, we got to put you on the news. Tell me, what brings you out to the parade today?
I come out to join with my cousin with Impulse Arts.
Okay, so they're going to be in the parade.
Yes.
Okay. Why aren't you walking in the parade? Are you not a performer?
No.
No, you're a spectator. We appreciate you coming out today. How long have you been coming out to the parade?
This is my first year.
Get out of here. Everybody else
enjoy it.
Everybody else I talked to, 25, 35 years. You're a newbie.
Newbie.
You know what to expect?
No.
Okay, we're going to check back in with you and see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Enjoy the parade.
Thank
Lakeisha.
you.
I love this. We have so many people, lots of smiles, lots of red, white, and blue, and of course, they're remembering the reason that we are here today to honor the sacrifice and the service of the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice in our military. I'm looking down here because I hear a band, and that's the band at the reviewing stand. So if you are able to, in the background, hear some trumpets and whatnot, that is what's happening about a block away. That's where all the fancy people are, the mayor and city council folk. That's the reviewing stand right there. So the parade is going to come, and we can see it moving a little bit closer anyway, down High Street. It will do a brief little pause here at the corner of Court and High for the reviewing stand, before moving to our location, which is closer to Middle Street, right outside of the Children's Museum of Virginia. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here on the street. I want to check back in with Aaron to see what's happening back at our command center. Aaron?
Blaine, you are such a joy to listen to and to be around. Just when you walked up to all of those people, seeing the smile that you put on their faces was so awesome. Come on back here because I need you as my co-pilot as we make our way through the rest of the parade. Just to remind anybody who might just be joining us now, we are here at the 2023 Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade, one of the longest running parades in the nation. Isn't that incredible? Starting in 1884 right here in our backyards, and this is just a sight to behold. We have people all the way up and down High Street waiting to see the parade get started, which should be in maybe about 10 minutes or so. We went on the air around 10 o'clock this morning, and that's when the parade started. We know it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get to us. Again, things started at IC Norcom High School. The parade is going to go down High Street. You can see them. Oh, well, here we go. You did just see them until I popped back on screen. But you see them making their way down High Street. They are going to be, there we go. There they are. The first group is the Portsmouth Police Department motor units and Portsmouth Sheriff Office Color Guard. So we'll reintroduce them once they get a little bit closer, but you can see the flashing lights down the way. And look at all the kids that are playing in the street as well. One thing that's really special about this day is, of course, the street is totally blocked off. We have families out here together, kids playing in the street. A reminder of how cool it is to be part of a military community that are here supporting one another. That family that Blaine talked to just a little bit earlier with those two little sweet kids, their mom said, "Your daddy protects our country." And I think that's really what we need to remember on a day like today, is that the service and the sacrifice that the men and women who sign up for the military do. This service and sacrifice for them to keep us all safe every single day. So thank you to everybody, in case we haven't already said that yet, for the families who sacrifice as well. I'm being told that Blaine is also up to something else now, so let's check back in with him to see who he's talking to now and what he has to tell us.
All right, Aaron, thanks. Here on the street here along High Street, just as far as you can look, all the way down to Crawford here at the end of the parade route, there is a line of folks about, 3-4 deep. You got people up against the wall here at the Children's Museum of Virginia as well. Everybody's got their flag. People have their little shirts. They've got the hats, your flag memorabilia here too. So there's no mistaking what's going on here today. I'm going to take just a little walk and meet some folks. Number one, that's the best hair I've seen. Okay. Even though it's not red, white, and blue, it still looks great. What's your name?
Melanie.
Melanie. So how many years have you been coming to this event?
All my life.
All your life?
Born and raised in Portsmouth.
It's not polite to ask how old you are, so we'll just say a few years, right?
Yes.
Okay. Born and raised in Portsmouth, you've probably watched this event change and grow over the years.
Definitely.
What's your favorite part? What keeps you coming back?
I like seeing the little kids dance around. It's very exciting.
It's cool that everyone, no matter who you are, can come together on one day.
Yes, for sure.
We love seeing that too. I love that shirt. We've seen a couple of these on the route, so this might be the must-have fashion item of the parade. What's your name, sir?
Lou.
Lou, tell me, how long have you been coming to this event?
About 5 years.
So 5 years. Compared to some other folks, a relative newcomer, but we welcome everybody in Portsmouth. So why do you come back every year?
Because I'm retired here from the United States Navy for 20 years service.
So you're a Navy man?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much for your service, and it's probably really cool to see these floats come back.
Yes, sir, it is.
Do you have a favorite part?
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Sir, thank you very much. It's good to meet you. We got a great family right here. What you didn't see before was, okay. We'll make this quick and painless. We've got a couple of cute ones here too. But sir, how often has your family been out to this event?
This is our first time.
First time. Okay, you military?
No, it's civilian.
Okay, civilian here, first time. What brought you out today?
Take the kids out to see a parade for Memorial Day.
And the weather certainly did hold up, huh?
Yes.
This is an event that has been going on now since the 1800s, one of the longest running Memorial Day parades in all the country. Even during COVID, there was a small version to keep that longest running thing running because, we have pride. Obviously, Hampton Roads is a huge military community. We've got the Navy. That's sort of the big dog around here, but there are all branches here. Army, Air Force, Marines. We've got the Coast Guard station right up the road as well. Want to show some love to this side of the street, too. It's not all about that side. You've got your flag.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Sanaya.
Sanaya. So how many years have you been coming to this parade?
This is my second year.
Second year. This is my second year too. Okay. We're twins. What was your favorite part about last year?
Norcom.
Norcom, okay. Are you a Norcom grad?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not? Okay. But still showing some love to Norcom. That's good. We appreciate that. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well.
Tell us about you. What's your name?
My name is Shasta.
All right, Shasta. What brings you out here today?
Oh, just to see the parade and commemorate Memorial Day.
This is so good to see so many of our neighbors and friends out here, right?
It is.
Do you have a favorite part that you're looking forward to?
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing my daughter. She's out here with Faith with Work, School of Dance, so we're waiting for them to come through.
We'll be sure to give her a shout out when she passes by. This is a good spot too. She's got a front row seat to see all the fun. I'm looking ahead. I do see the parade getting a little bit closer, so let's check back in with Aaron at the tent to see what's going on there. Aaron?
Yes, hi Blaine. You see them there. They are coming down the road. One thing that we didn't mention yet is how many people are going to be walking in this parade. I'm looking at our sheet that we have here in front of us, and we have some 70 groups that are out here either walking or performing or just kind of walking around and saying hello. So we have a really, really great show ahead. It's going to be exciting once they get closer and we hear the cheers start to roll through. As Blaine mentioned, a lot of people here all down High Street have their little American flags. There were sailors that were out and about. I believe they were sailors. They were military members. That's a safe bet to just say that. Our military members were out here and they were handing out these American flags to people in the crowd, as you saw a little bit, and you can see them there. And it's just so fun to see the patriotism that people have for today. Of course, a more serious reason why we are gathered, the service and sacrifice to remember those fallen service members. But again, a lot of smiles and camaraderie out here today.
Well, it's just nice to have everybody together, right? And we're all here for the same reason. And, you know, it is a somber occasion, Memorial Day is, as you've been mentioning. But to see so many of our neighbors and friends lined up, they've got their flags, they're ready for this parade to come by. And I got to tell you, now we were up a couple of blocks last year. The crowd, to me, at least from that vantage point, seems far larger this year.
Oh, yeah.
Even despite the threat of some really nasty weather, you see a lot of people, they've got ponchos and umbrellas ready to go. So they were prepared.
Well, and Blaine, you had mentioned it too when you were walking and talking, doing a great job chatting with our friends out there in the crowd, is that we have people on both sides of the streets as well as in the median. And so there's not really a lot of place on the sidewalk that has a bunch of empty space for people to, I mean, of course, there's still empty space in case anybody wants to come down, but just showing the gravity of how many people wanted to come out here today.
You know, I think that is a huge part of it. Obviously, if Hampton Roads, a huge military community. I think part of the thing, too, is that we've been cooped up inside for how many days with all this rain?
Too many.
So the first ray of sunshine and an excuse to get out of the house, and what a great excuse it is. I think that's why we have so many folks here. You're looking on your screen right now where you were just a minute ago, kind of a zoomed-in view down High Street. That is the first units of the parade as it's getting closer and closer to the reviewing stand, which is about a block away from us. So almost time for the actual parade to get to where we are here at the corner of High and Middle Streets, right in front of the Children's Museum of Virginia. I got to say, if you're thinking about coming out next year, this is the spot to be. There's free parking less than a block away.
And it's so fun to see like this many people back after a couple years ago. COVID, it was diminished a little bit. You know, it was smaller. There was still a parade, but it was only a handful of people that were there. Last year, we did see more people come back out, but today it's just smiles, people in full force. Everyone's got their cameras out, taking photos of one of the nation's longest running parades. I can't stress that enough because to me, that is one of the most interesting facts that in little old Portsmouth here in Hampton Roads that we have that impact on the world.
Well, you know, a lot of people, when you talk about the military and Hampton Roads, you think obviously of Naval Station Norfolk, and certainly that is a huge part of our military community. But Portsmouth here, we have the shipyard, we have the Coast Guard here in Portsmouth, that base just up the road here too. There is a lot of rich history in the city of Portsmouth, and I think it's quite fitting that they can lay claim to being one of the longest running parades. I think some folks in Pennsylvania try to challenge us.
Yeah.
Listen, number one, we're all in it for the same reason, so it's all good. But number two, we got a lot of pride here in Portsmouth for sure.
We were talking about that with Colonel Irv Lindley, who I was speaking with earlier in the broadcast. He is a retired Army colonel, and, you know, he was just kind of sharing that no matter what branch of service you are in, everybody is kind of one. You're all joining the military for mostly the same reason, to protect and serve, to give back. And, you know, even everybody that is in this parade is doing that to some capacity to honor our military and to be from such a proud corner of the world that can share that.
Absolutely, and this is our second year together co-hosting this event. I've covered the parade and just been here as a spectator for many years, ever since, let's say, I got here in 2007. And I will say that every year there's something new and a little more spectacular about it. Even in some of the lean COVID years where a ton of people weren't out here, there's always something new and exciting, and just it's great to see, and a great reminder of the strong military community. Sometimes it's easy to take that for granted, and I think this allows us to have that front and center.
Is there anybody that you're most looking forward to see either again or for the first time this year?
Aside from the little cars?
Aside from the little cars.
Because you know I love the little cars. It's the bands. I love that brass, that loud, and the drums. All we need is Miles Henderson to get his high school marching band days back on the road, and he would fit right in with some of those incredible bands. I'm hearing the sirens.
I'm hearing things.
It looks like they are about a block away from us. You're looking live down High Street. That's about the corner of High and Court, right in front of the old courthouse, if you're familiar with Old Town Portsmouth. And that's where the reviewing stands are, where the city dignitaries and a lot of military officials, and there's a live band there as well, welcoming in the folks into this part of Old Town Portsmouth.
Yeah, I was going to say they did have a nice little stage set up there, so no matter what, we are going to be hearing the sounds, the music. I believe this is the Portsmouth Police Department motor units and Portsmouth Sheriff's Office Color Guard.
That's right. The colors leading the way here in the parade, the traditional first unit there is some sort of law enforcement, and there's generally the colors there, so that is good to see. Unit number 1, the lead unit in the 2023 Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade. Now, passing the grandstand and arriving to our part of Old Town here at the corner of High and Middle Streets, just about a block or two away from the Elizabeth River.
Waving and saying hello to everybody. A couple fun facts about the motor units here is that they were brought on by the Portsmouth Police Department to help with traffic enforcement all around the city. So you can see it's made up of a couple of patrol officers, and they say 2 Harley-Davidson motorcycles for our motorcycle fans out there that like to know what they are riding in. I'm told that they are Harley-Davidson. Every couple of years or every year they do have to be recertified to be able to participate in the motor unit and to be part of events like this.
You know, it's always good to see the motorcycle unit out and about in the city. Certainly great to see them here in the parade, too. The only place you don't want to see them is in your rearview mirror. I'm just saying.
Maybe today might be a good day to make a friend and say hello to any of the officers that are out here enjoying the parade. But we're noticing as they move down High Street, they are stopping and saying hello to the people that are gathered on the street here at the parade. Trying to count how many we have there. We have quite a few units.
I'd say it's more than a dozen or so.
Yeah.
We've got a long list, too, looking ahead. Behind them, we've got some bands coming up here in the next couple of minutes, too. So if you're like me and you're a big fan of hearing the marching bands,
I was going to say,
this is the place to be.
One of my one of the groups I'm most looking forward to is the U.S. Fleet Forces Band. I've recently spent some time with them when I was doing a bunch of Navy reports, and I hope that I'm going to see some familiar faces of people that I actually met, and I can feel like I'm their friend. They probably are going to be like, oh, that was just another journalist that spent a couple days with us, but that'll be really cool to see.
What we saw in your report, too, is they have incredibly talented musicians. You know,
the best in the world.
It's hard to get a spot in that unit because they only take the best of the best. I know you tried your hand out at joining the band ever so briefly. How did that go?
I mean, it didn't go well. There's a reason why they are the best of the best, and there's a reason why I do what I do, and it's because I'm not musically inclined.
Well, you know, everyone has a talent, right? Some of us are still looking for ours. All right, we hear the sirens.
And we see the lights. They are coming on down. This is Portsmouth Police Department's motor units.
Also the Portsmouth Sheriff's Office Color Guard in here as well, bringing the colors and ushering in the official start of the 2023 Portsmouth Parade here on Memorial Day. You see a couple of Old Dominion University police units in there as well.
And the
Chesapeake
Sheriff's Office, yeah. They're rolling deep, the crew.
Well, you know, when it's a big event like today, you bring your friends, right?
Yeah, I brought my friend. You. Or did you bring me?
Yeah, of course of course. Of course. There we have the color guard as well.
So again, just to wrap up the coverage of that as they move past us, that was the Portsmouth Police Department motor units and the Portsmouth Sheriff's Office color guard.
There's one thing, there's no mistaking when they're approaching because they bring the hype with them. Between the engines revving that we can still hear and the sirens, you know they're coming.
And one thing I want to point out, too, is, it's a bit warm out here, and they are fully decked out in their uniform. And so, just to kind of give appreciation for everybody that is still being so professional, even though it's probably going to get a little hot out here today.
We've been prepared for all kinds of weather, I think, today. For rain, which still could come. It's a lot more cloudy than it was, say, a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
The sun, I'm breaking a sweat here. I've got the windbreaker with the hood on, just in case it starts raining.
Well, you're going to be prepared. I'm not.
Well, we'll see.
I think we're moving on to number 2. The second unit that is here is the Grand Marshal Commander, 5th Coast Guard District, Rear Admiral Shannon Gilreath.
He's been the commander of the 5th Coast Guard District since May of 2022, so in this position now for 1 year, serving as the operational commander of all of the U.S. Coast Guard missions. And we're talking over a huge area, too. It's not just here at Hampton Roads, but North Carolina, South Carolina to the south, all the way up to New Jersey, encompassing about 3,000 Coast Guard active duty, reserve, and civilian personnel.
And let's just give a big shout out to the Coast Guard. I have some friends that are personally in the Coast Guard, and they have told me, you know what, sometimes we don't get the respect that we deserve. They're like, living in a Navy town, we're here too.
Tough, right?
And so, we just want to say that we see you, we love you, Coast Guard, and we're so glad to have that represented here today.
Hats off to the Coast Guard as we watch them pull up in the Beamer, too. Nice wheels as they drive a little closer to our stand here, too. Also seeing the Portsmouth Police Department, the Portsmouth Sheriff's Office passing by a little earlier there as well. So we've got the whole crew out here today.
Yeah, we do. It's nice to see everybody showing up in numbers for a big day like this to support our military members and families as well. We talk a lot about the service members that dedicate their lives, but the families are right there along with it. When there are deployments and there are tours, there are people holding down the fort here at home, so we want to acknowledge that as well.
Absolutely. That's so important to remember. You may have someone who is actually in the military, is an active duty person, but those spouses, the kids, it's a package deal. And so thanks to all of our military families who are making those sacrifices as we take a look at some of the next folks up in our parade here.
Unit 3, U.S. Coast Guard Base Portsmouth Ceremonial Honor Guard as well. The Portsmouth Mayor's Military Affairs Committee, actually.
Yeah, we've got 2 groups back-to-back here. You mentioned the Coast Guard Honor Guard. They were proud to lead the support in the Tidewater area for all the Coast Guard military honors. So retirements, changes of command, things like that, that's when they're called into duty.
And the Military Affairs Committee there as well consists of city officials, senior military officers, retired Colonel Irv Lindley, who I talked with. That was the group, the committee that he was part of. They also represent local military service organizations and really all organizations working to support the military.
Another great group there passing us by. Up next, we have a familiar face. If you've been watching campaign commercials, actually you're about to see 2 familiar faces. There is Portsmouth Senator Louise Lucas, serving the 18th District, also President Pro Temp of the Senate as well.
Here's a quick shot of the U.S. Coast Guard as they pass on through before we get to our next individual coming down. This is Senator Lionel Spruill, who has served in the Virginia General Assembly since 1994. Another familiar face if you've been watching campaign commercials.
Right, there's that election, the primaries coming up in about a month in June, where we will see State Senator Louise Lucas take on a challenger in the Democratic primary, and that is the gentleman that you'll about to see on the next float there, Representative Senator Lionel Spruill, who served in the Virginia General Assembly since 1994. There's a shot of him and his car and his crew coming up here as well. Up next, we have the treasurer of the city of Portsmouth, Paige Cherry.
Also a former Army officer. He commanded Service Battery 4th Battalion, 3rd Field Artillery during Operation Desert Storm. He was awarded the Bronze Star Medal for his performance in the liberation of Kuwait and the ultimate defeat of the Iraqi army.
Lots of a depth of military service here, even in our elected officials. You know, that's a thing that we often forget, is that so many military members retire here and then become part of our civic engagement in one way or the other, many times serving in elected office.
And Blaine, you talked about being excited about the bands. This is the 380th Army Band. They are comprised of over 40 Army Reserve soldier musicians at Fort Eustis. And they don't just travel here at Portsmouth. They make their way all around the tri-state area. They go to Virginia, West Virginia, D.C., Maryland. So they make their rounds. And this is, I believe, the first band that we are seeing. So let's take a listen.
Let's listen in.
Okay, talk about some talented men and women there in the 380th Army Band. Oh my goodness.
And those are the folks up at Fort Eustis. I've done a couple of stories with them over the years as well, and they get to do a lot of traveling with their musical service as well. So it's really neat to see them perform here at home, kind of for the home crowd, if you will.
Oh, absolutely. And it's nice because 40 members, it's a bit of a smaller band, I guess, if you look at
compared to some of the others.
Compared to some of the others, but I think it's great. It creates that camaraderie. You know, they are so good at balancing their music off of one another, and it's really just a treat to have the music waft over you as they're walking down the street.
Well, there's no mistaking that they're around either, too, because they have a commanding presence and a great sound. While we were listening to the band, we had a dignitary pass by that I'm sorry that we missed, but the mascot for the Children's Museum of Virginia just passed us by as well, too, so I just wanted to give him a shout-out as well.
Yeah, we don't mean any disrespect. Y'all have to bear with us. We're doing our best to get every single person as they come on by, but I'll be honest, we get a little swept away in the moment. I was dancing along to the Army Band.
Well, it felt good, too. Those drums were booming.
I know. It kind of rings in your head a little bit.
Yeah, you feel it in your soul here, too. If you're just joining us, we are bringing live coverage of the 2023 City of Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade here along High Street in Old Town Portsmouth, starting about a half hour ago. Coverage continuing through the morning here on News 3 and streaming on WTKR.com. I'm Blaine Stewart.
And I'm Erin Miller. In case you thought you got enough of us in the shows this morning, we wanted to come back and bring you this live coverage, one of the longest running parades in the nation.
You know, it is always incredible to see the crowds that turn out here each and every year, even during the leaner pandemic years when, you know, things were not so public. They still kept a small version of the parade running because, you know, that's so important to the folks who not only put this parade on, but the people who come here every year, to the community, that this is a tradition worth carrying on.
Yeah, and a little bit about the parade route. It's pretty similar. I believe it's the same every year. But in case this is your first time joining us, because we do have a lot of people coming out as first-timers, which you talked to there in the crowd, but it starts at IC Norcom High School, and then it's going to come down High Street. The bands and everybody else is going to be coming right behind us. You're going to see them come on through.
Yeah, they stop little pause right in front of the reviewing stands, which is about a block or so up from us in the corner of High Street and Court, right in front of the old courthouse. That's where the actual reviewing stand is. I think the mayor and some of the other dignitaries watch from that perch, and then we're about a block down from here. We've got a little bit of a lull in the activity. We're waiting for the next group to come up, which will be from Churchland Soccer. So we'll get to them in just a little bit as we continue our live coverage here. Of course, the 2023 Memorial Day Parade brought to you by Velocity Clinical Research in Portsmouth, offering clinical trials and studies involving vaccines for infectious illness or medications for conditions like acne, diabetes, high cholesterol, and more. You can learn about them at WTKR.com. That's Velocity Clinical Research.
And you know, there are times like this in parades where it happens where there is a little bit of a lull because the first group gets out, everybody's walking at different paces, but we do see the next group, they are coming way down the road.
I was hoping that meant that you'd be able to fill the time and regale us with a song or a dance.
Do you want me to sing? I mean, we saw how it went when I tried to join the Fleet Forces Band for the U.S. Fleet Forces Band for a day. I couldn't even hit the drum at the same. He literally pointed at me and said, "Erin, go." And I still did not hit the drum at the right time. So I don't think we want any of that.
Maybe our talents are best served here in these chairs. And let's watch some really cool athletes. Were you an athlete at all growing up?
Yeah, so I played soccer.
Wait, get out.
I ended up switching and doing cross country because I realized the part that I was good at about soccer was the running.
Okay.
Not what they're doing.
So
all
you
that
took-
ball handling, no.
The ball work was not okay. So we're doing the kicking and the dribbling, and is that what they call it?
Yes, they do call it dribbling. It is so impressive to see how quickly they're able to pass the ball in between their feet. Some of them get really creative, and they can like flip the ball over their heads. Look, he's just like juggling it.
That's impressive.
Look at him whopping it on his head like that.
Yeah, I could never do that. It's impressive, too. They've got that banner. It's blowing in the breeze a little bit there, celebrating 30 years. This is the Churchland Soccer League celebrating 30 years. It's a 100% volunteer-run, nonprofit youth soccer organization. So hats off to them for 30 years at Churchland Soccer League. And impressive work as well, too.
If we weren't stuck here behind the desk, I would challenge you to get up there and see if you could dribble with them. But I'm not going to.
Well, you're the former soccer player, so.
The former soccer player that went to cross country instead.
Here's some of the rest of the folks there with the Churchland Soccer League as well.
But it's so important, I think, what sports are able to do for young kids. It gives you an outlet. You learn how to work together on a team, and it is great that there are soccer leagues like this available. Oh, they got some cool glasses on, too.
Absolutely.
Thank
you. All right. Now, not only do we have our American flag, we have an American flag pinwheel as well.
Oh, see, I thought the camera was on me. I was blowing the pinwheel, but
there you go. Now we're on. Try it again here. We've got our very own American flag pinwheel. We're starting a collection here. We've got the flag. That's important. That's step one. We have the pinwheel. Should also mention
we also have some
the church fan.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. It's not raining. Sure, that's good. It's a little muggy out here.
It's a little muggy, yeah. This is very important to have. Now you have 3 things. I gave my flag to the colonel.
We got a replacement flag for you right there. Yeah, the colonel needs a flag.
Yeah, I was like, you earned this and you deserve this. I appreciate having one, but yeah, if you can pass it along to a military member or veteran, that's what I'm going to do.
Good looking out there too. All right, we're looking here at the scene as we wait for the next folks to come along High Street here as our coverage of the 2023 Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade continues here on News 3 and streaming on WTKR.com. Yeah, you can see lots of smiling faces, folks waving at the camera. Everyone is, it is a somber occasion, Memorial Day is, but there is still, a bit of a festivity in the air because people are coming together. We're coming together for a shared cause and a common purpose, and it's a chance to, see your neighbors, perhaps more than what you might normally see.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get to meet people for the first time. How many people do you get to just meet and say, oh, you realize you have commonalities and you both had a family member that served in the Navy or they served in the Coast Guard or you ended up knowing somebody that they knew. So I think that events like this are also really unique to be able to build those connections with people that live in your neighborhood.
Absolutely. It's, in 2023, sometimes it's easy to know your neighbors only on the next door app.
Right.
It's tempting to, to just stay out on the couch, but to actually, meet the folks in your neighborhood. And the more you know people, the more you realize you have a lot in common. Because at the end of the day, we're all just people.
As you were walking up and down the street, were people excited you think they were excited to see you?
I don't know about to see
me. Were there familiar faces, though, that you saw me?
It was nice to see a lot of folks, and everybody had a smile on their face, too. And it's, it's one of those events. I'm from New Orleans, right? We have parades all the time. Generally, those involve a bit more lewd activities and drinking and things like that.
Sure.
This is a nice, good family event here, too, and so many kids out here, and it's great to see them learning the reason why we do this every year.
Yeah, and it looked like we did have the next group that was making its way down. This is going to be our 11th unit that is walking down High Street for this Memorial Day parade. This is the Churchland Football and Cheer Association. Our Pop Warner team, they say, has been around serving the community for 55 years.
Wow.
What a milestone, 55, incredible. They assist in youth development through football and cheer. Again, just kind of what I was saying before about how important it is for young kids and teenagers having an outlet and putting their energy into an event like football, cheer, whatever sport, or if it's music, whatever they like to do.
It teaches you to be part of a team. It teaches you to be part of something bigger than yourself, how to work together for a common goal. And so I think it's great that we're seeing these kids out here today on a day off from school. They could be anywhere, and they have decided to be here not only to show off their skills, whether it be dancing or cheering or playing in the band, but also to show their support and respect for our military community here. So we've got the football team that's coming out. Before then, we had the soccer team, or football, as the rest of the world calls it. So back to back.
I was going to say, let's get back to them. It looks like they have a routine that they have performed, or that they've put together to perform for us. And that's also not an easy task either, is remembering choreography, and then to be remembering choreography as you're physically moving down a street. The sun is shining. There's a lot going on, and they are able to keep it together. That is impressive within itself.
Not to mention just the energy required to keep that up and to keep that smile on your face for that entire parade route, because, this isn't the start. They've been at this for quite a while now.
Right?
Yeah. Going nonstop.
Yeah, about 47 minutes now.
Here we're getting a closer look as they get closer to our vantage point here. We're about a block away from the reviewing stand, so the view you're getting now, that's sort of the preview, the first glimpse that we're getting as they get closer to our vantage point here at the corner of High and Middle Streets, the Churchland Football Association. And look, if you'd like to learn more about joining or volunteering, they've got the number right there on the banner. If only I had my glasses.
Let's see, 757-419-9116.
That's got to be a 6.
Got to be a 6.
All right, absolutely good there too. And if you're interested in learning more, there you go. Perhaps you can join, perhaps you can mentor or volunteer. I'm sure, like many groups, they're always looking for more folks to join in and help support the cause.
Oh, yeah, and even if you can mentor, that goes such a long way with our youth as well. So, yeah, 757-419-9116 as it comes into focus.
We got the numbers right. I'm kind of impressed with our elderly eyesight.
I know, I do have contact.
at this point. All right, so as we get closer here, we're excited. Looking ahead, I've got the roster here. Coming up in the next few minutes, there's a big celebrity, and someone that I did not see on the list originally that I am very excited to welcome. So that's a little teaser. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, we got a big name, perhaps the biggest name in all the parade coming. But for now, we say hello to the folks there at the Churchland Football and Cheer Association.
Hey, y'all.
So cute. Round of applause. Nice work there.
Oh, I love it. They're kissing to the camera. And like, okay, Tigers, we see you.
I'm impressed.
Okay, it looks like we have our next group appearing on camera now.
Oh, this is the Spirit Enhancers All-Stars.
I think we could all use a spirit enhancement right now.
Listen, I woke up this morning feeling the need for my spirit to be enhanced. And here we are with the Spirit Enhancers. Now, they're a competitive cheer and dance team. They're here in Portsmouth. Oh, we got a little juvenile. Little New Orleans going to come out of me. We don't want to see that.
Yeah, we do. Bring it back to them.
No, I'm going to back that thing up into unemployment if I continue to do that. But yeah, as I was saying, the Spirit Enhancers All-Stars, a competitive cheer and dance gym in Portsmouth led by Coach Kelly. Doing some great work. There you go. There's a good shot at the dance. These were the songs that they played in high school dances back in my day. I'm showing my age.
See, I think we need to have like walk-up songs when the morning show starts.
Oh.
Every member of the morning team comes in and we have a different song that we can dance to. I'm
Not a bad idea.
voting this one for you.
We've got some folks decked out in some great uniforms. Want to say hello to the Norfolk Naval Shipyard flag detail.
And And wouldn't you know that each sailor that is there marching is carrying a different state flag.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, we like to have everybody represented if we can.
Do you
Or
see-
a different flag, I should say.
Do you see the New Jersey flag?
I see California.
I'm looking for Louisiana. It's got to be around there somewhere. You got a
Where's
giant-
the Garden State? I saw Dakotas. I saw the Dakotas in there.
There's Montana. Okay. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
You know, got to shout out all the states out there, too. That's really cool. Uh-oh, there's a ship. There's a ship in the road.
This is the Norfolk Naval Shipyard USS Alabama float, a highly detailed replica, we should say, the battleship USS Alabama. Norfolk Naval Shipyard built the Alabama during World War II. Designated BB-60, the actual ship has been preserved as a museum and berthed in Mobile, Alabama.
I have visited the actual USS Alabama in Mobile. It's a large, impressive site. They've got a great museum set up. This, not so bad either. If you
Not
can't
so
be in
bad.
Mobile, that's the next best thing.
Wow, I wonder how long it took to put something like this together and recreate this replica.
It's like official battleship gray there.
Yeah.
On the thing, too. Looks very authentic. You know, parades, sometimes there are lulls, and sometimes the truck that is blasting House of Pain from the 1990s is parked right next to you. So
I'm not mad about it, though.
hope you're ready for some throwbacks and jams, Aaron.
If you weren't awake, you are now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's 11, but
And a wise man once said, jump up, and get down.
all right, the Norfolk Naval Shipyard's USS Alabama float passing us now. What a cool replica.
That is so neat to, if you look closely to the detail that they got into on that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That's really neat.
Our cameras, by the way, we have several here giving you as many perspectives as we can of this parade.
It's the next best thing to being here. Obviously, being in person is great, but you know the weather might have scared a lot of folks off earlier this morning, so we wanted to provide this service to make sure you were able to see everyone. Okay, we've got a couple of units here. We've got the Norfolk Naval Shipyard Veteran Employee Resource Group that has passed us. There you see a shot of them right there. Looking very proud. That is a group of 218 members, representing about a third of the shipyard's workforce, serving the armed forces. And then behind them, you see and hear your friends.
They are my friends, the U.S. Fleet Forces Band. I spent some time with them a few months ago, and man, they are just so talented, like all of the bands that are here today, but it's incredible to see them. So let's listen in. Blaine, there's the drum that I tried to play.
Oh, you should just run right in. I'm sure they've welcomed you with open arms.
I doubt that. Moving on to our next unit that is here with us, the Portsmouth Police Department's Community Enhancement Division Bike Unit. They focus on building community-based partnerships. The goal of this unit is to empower communities to make their neighborhoods better, safer, and healthier places where we all work, live, and grow.
Speaking of making a community safer, there's the celebrity alert.
Oh my
One of my
gosh.
childhood heroes. Give it up for McGruff, the crime dog. You know, he's been around since, well, even before my time as a kid. I think the 1960s is where he dates back. Now focusing his attention on cyberbullying, school safety, safety on the internet, cell phone, things like that. So shout out to McGruff, the crime dog,
And
my
also,
guy.
and also shout out to the police department's mounted patrol, which we saw there as well. A couple of the horses that were involved, very happy to see them there. What regal animals. Who do we have next year? Oh, we have the Royal Influence. Royal Influence is a united group of young ladies ranging from 6 to 17 years old out of Smithfield, Virginia. Hello, Smithfield. They strive to manifest excellence daily and to be positive influencers through dancing, mentorship, and exploring the movement of endless opportunities. Look at those cute little outfits. You go, girls.
They've got their routines down pat, too. Looking great.
Making Smithfield proud today, the Royal Influence.
I also love that we've got groups from all over the 7 cities and beyond congregating here on Portsmouth. This, of course, is happening in Old Town Portsmouth, but this really is a Hampton Roads, a regional celebration and memorial.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure many of these individuals and kids know each other from if they have competitions or if they play each other, if their schools overlap or anything like that. So that's nice to see. Unit 21. Hi, good morning.
Thank you. What's your name? I'm Denise. Denise from the DAV. Thank you for a flag. We appreciate it. Shout out to Denise. She is with DAV, dedicated to empowering veterans to leading high-quality lives. It's one of the number of organizations here focusing on our veterans. There's a lot of attention on the active duty military community, but many times veterans, for whatever reason, choose to make their homes here even after they leave the service. And it's incredible to see that kind of support. So shout out to the DAV, Federal Chapter 22 and DAV Portsmouth 27.
And shout out to Manor High School's Marching Mustang Band. They are making their way down High Street. Their ensemble motto, by the way, is to aim high, driver forward, destination excellence. And they were one of the bands, I think, that performed at Missy Elliott's street naming.
Manor High School, Missy Elliott, a proud alum of Manor High. And obviously, they've got some great talent here. I don't know if Missy was in the band.
I don't know either, but either way, there's some good talent that's coming out of Manor High School performing for us today.
Up next, Knights Templar, a Masonic organization requiring members to profess having a Christian faith, representing Portsmouth, Norfolk, Hampton, and the Virginia Beach areas.
And the Masonic family of the 33rd District as well, joining us today.
And then coming into view, we have the Godive Shrine Center.
Been in existence, would you know, for over 100 years. One of their main goals is supporting Shriners Hospital for children, that medically treating children regardless of the family's ability to pay. We know they come out every year, are big supporters and proponents of the Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade.
And the Godive Shrine folks, they run deep.
Oh, yeah.
A huge organization with so many people volunteering their time, putting their service together, and they just do some amazing work. And they don't seek the glory.
No.
They do it generally when no one is looking, but hats off to them for being here today as well.
And they have several vehicles and people involved in the float, or involved in the parade. I'm saying we've got a float, we've got a golf cart here, we've got scooters.
Oh, the scooters.
Yeah, the scooter patrol.
I like that. This is more my speed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I could be in a marching band. I don't know that I could do the horses or anything else. I could probably scoot.
I think you could scoot.
They also have the mini cars at some point too, and that's pretty
I
neat
know,
to
that's
see.
what you're most looking forward to, isn't it?
Listen,
you love everybody.
I'm 46 years old, but inside I'm still 6.
I think the folks at the Godive Shrine Center also are too, that they're rolling around on these little scooters. So I think that brings out the child in all of us, right?
Well, they're doing what they can to help children, but also, that you've got to have the heart for that too. And there's that kid in all of us that you just want to make the world a better place.
Absolutely.
So shout out to our friends at the Godive Shrine Center right there. There's a little car.
A little car.
One little car.
We have some vintage cars that are rolling through here now too. I need to see the logo come into
That's an Alfa
screen.
Romeo, it looks like.
Oh, Is this a Porsche?
We got a Cougar that just, there it is. There's a Cougar right there. And there's a Porsche. You know, honestly, that might be more my speed. The red sports car.
Oh, what about these, Blaine? I could do that.
Big wheel, yeah. Problem is, though, you're low to the ground and it's hard to get up once you hit a certain age.
You just stay there.
That's right.
That's just your life now.
They live in those bikes
Yeah,
now.
this is where you will find me forever and always.
You know, the kids are getting a kick out of this, too. I'm just looking at their faces.
Oh, yeah.
They're all lit up right now.
Well, and look at these guys that are like doing like little spins.
That's me driving in the snow.
Hydroplaning.
Yeah.
Got to tell our photographers, our photojournalists to watch out or they're going to cause a crash. Bravo.
Listen, if you got it, flaunt it. That's what I say.
And he had American flag socks, which is also incredible.
You've got the skills like that, you might as well show them off.
Oh, look at this. We have a ship, too.
I told you.
Ahoy!
I told you they roll deep.
The Bounty of Hope.
I do love a good pirate
The
joke.
Khedive Swashbucklers.
So they've got the pirates, they've got the mini bikes, they've got the classic cars.
What don't
they've got
they
the
have?
scooters.
The energy. They have the energy.
They are bringing the energy and bringing the fun, too, here at the parade.
And they're bringing the smiles, too. A lot of people all the way up and down High Street here for the 2023 Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade. For anybody that's just joining us, we are so glad that you are with us. I'm Erin Miller.
And I'm Blaine Stewart. Yeah, it's just after 11 o'clock here on WTKR Norfolk and streaming at WTKR.com. If you're getting ready to watch The Price is Right, it's a rerun. Somebody won a car, yada, yada, yada.
This is new.
This is something you can't get anywhere else. Our exclusive live team coverage of the 2023 Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade. We've been out here for the past hour now, Erin. We have already seen a number of military dignitaries. We have seen some school bands, some great little dance teams as well.
We have seen so many people and so many smiles, too. As Blaine had mentioned earlier, we are on High Street right now. The parade starting at IC Norcom High School, making its way down High Street, ending at Water Street. So we are, about a block or so away from there right now?
We're not too far from the end.
We're on High and Middle Street. So we're close towards the end, but people are lined all up and down High Street on both sides of the road as well as in the median just here. So thankful and happy that the parade is back to honor our service members who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Absolutely, and we see so many folks, young and old, who are here all with the same mission, and that is to mark this day in an appropriate way and also give families a reason to get out of the house after a long, windy, wet weekend to be able to enjoy some fun here too. Let's take a look at the who do we have here
The
now?
Dolphins Phenomenal Pearls Cheer and Pep Squad. Okay, I see them with the pom-poms. The cheer squad is made up of 23 girls, and the Pep Squad is made up of 15 girls. They are led by Coach Jay, Kelly, Tan, Ashney, and Nyla.
Shout out to the coaches. Shout out to the team there, too.
And look, they got red, white, and blue pom-poms and T-shirts.
They are phenomenal indeed.
They are phenomenal. Oh, looks like we might have a performance going on. Oh, here we go.
Great performance there.
Oh, great performance by the girls. Even with all the cars honking their horns and so much commotion going on,
they don't miss a beat.
They do not miss a beat. They are not phased. They nailed that performance.
Give it up for Lakeview Elementary's Dolphins, the Phenomenal Pearls Cheer and Pep Squad. All right, we have a number of other groups following in their footsteps, including the New Horizon Music Ministry.
They were founded in 1992 by Father Lloyd Stevenson at the Hampton Veterans Administration Medical Center. New Horizon is a music ministry composed of honorably discharged veterans, all recovered addicts, and persons with disabilities and mental health illnesses. We thank them for being out here today and participating in the parade.
Absolutely. We also have the Portsmouth area chapter of the Military Officers Association of America. They're a chapter of the country's largest military officers association, representing members from all the uniformed services and their families, a leading voice on compensation and benefits matters for members of the military community.
And right behind them, the most worshipful Prince Hall Masons of Virginia. That's these individuals right here. The most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Virginia Free and Accepted Masons, Inc. is a fraternal organization dedicated to the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man. Good morning.
We're getting some Channel 3 love. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
What a great group passing by. Up next, we have the Portsmouth Fire Rescue Emergency Services. These are the folks you call when there's trouble, right? Not Ghostbusters.
Not Ghostbusters.
You call Portsmouth Fire and EMS.
I think they're a little bit more reliable than the Ghostbusters.
I would think so. No knock against the Ghostbusters. They've been around since 1830.
Wow.
The home of the oldest professional fire department on the eastern seaboard. Firefighters, paramedics, support staff, all under the direction of the fire chief.
And Blaine, real quickly, I want to give a shout out to Arabia Temple number 12. They passed right before the fire truck coming on through here in Portsmouth. So quick shout out to them as well.
You ever wish that those sirens could be a little louder?
Yeah. Louder and closer.
Cool. Check this out. We talked about the history of the Portsmouth Fire Department. This is a truck from 1936.
Wow.
An original Portsmouth fire truck delivered in May of 36. It served as a frontline pumper for 30 plus years, but it was finally taken out of service in 1968. That's a pretty neat ride.
That is, and it's awesome that it's still moving and grooving today to be part of the parade. Next up, we have the Philippine Cultural Center of Virginia. It's a hub of social celebration, civic and religious functions, cultural and arts, health and senior citizen programs, historical presentations, as well as general community meeting space for the approximately 40,000 Filipinos and Filipino Americans of Hampton Roads.
And some dignitaries on these floats from the Cultural Center as well. We have Miss Reagan, who is the Lil Miss Phil Fest. And Miss Ariana, who is Miss Polyfest, also Mrs. Lita, who is Mrs. Philippines of Virginia, as well as some great dancers there as well. So some dignitaries.
Wow, so cool to have them out here with us. And I love their crowns and their tiaras.
I wish I could move like that, not gonna lie. That's talent.
They could probably teach you.
My problem is even once I stop dancing, things keep moving. I need to jog a little more before we get onto there. All right, look, we've got some Cub Scouts. We've got some Cub Scouts. This is Pack 207.
Yeah, the Cub Scouts encourage kids to make friendships, help others, and do their best. So we say hello to Cub Scout Pack 207. Oh, right. They're saying Happy Memorial Day as they come past us.
Good to see the Cub Scouts, Pack 207 from Portsmouth, and behind them we have an impressive group as well. This is the Churchland High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC. They date back to 1969, among the oldest JROTC units in the nation. So a lot of history there, and some serious faces too.
They mean business.
Yeah,
they're here to work. They've got a job to do. The gentleman I was speaking with, Colonel Irv Lindley, he said that he had joined ROTC when he was in his younger days, and he said he had planned to be there for 2 years.
And you see what happens, right?
Decades later, and he is now retired. I think that happens to a lot of our service members.
Reminder that News 3's coverage of the Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade is brought to you by Velocity Clinical Research in Portsmouth, offering clinical trials and studies involving vaccines for infectious disease, illness, or medications for conditions like acne, diabetes, high cholesterol, and more. That's Velocity Clinical Research of Portsmouth.
How about the Churchland High School marching truckers? You see them there in the distance on the camera. Folks, they have been a long-time crowd favorite, known as Portsmouth's crown jewel. The director of the band is Rick Edwards and is led by drum major Dominic Barber. Oh, look at them. They came to perform.
They have moves, and I'm here for it.
Again, this is the Churchland High School Marching Truckers here for us at the 2023 Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade along High Street in beautiful Portsmouth, Virginia.
You can hear the band with them as well, too.
Portsmouth's crown jewel.
I like that. I hope they treat us to a song.
And I hope that they got water bottles in there because, you know, it's not easy to be walking in all those clothes and carrying all that equipment.
Yeah, the clothes are hot. The drums, the tubas, they're all heavy.
More of that. Do they have to walk past
That
us?
was great. I'm buying their CD. That's it. I'm sold. Oh, we've got the Volkswagen Club of Tidewater. They've been around since 1981, so 42 years strong and growing. The Volkswagen Club of Tidewater, a family-friendly car club, enjoying the VW in its many forms. When I was a kid, my neighbor had an old school VW Bug, like that one, the iconic Bug.
Wow.
And I just thought it was the coolest car ever.
They are so cool. My soon-to-be mother-in-law has a Volkswagen, and its name is Tiggy.
Okay.
Just fun fact about Volkswagen.
All right. I'm sure the folks in the Volkswagen Club would like to know
They
that.
probably don't care. But here's a really cool shot of them here for us at the parade, and I love the decorations that they have.
Yeah, the cars are really decked out in red, white, and blue. In fact,
Yeah.
this one quite literally with the red, white, and blue on the windshield there. Oh, the googly eyes. Gotta love that. The Portsmouth, the Tidewater.
The Volkswagen Club of Tidewater.
Club of Tidewater. There you go.
And they've got quite a few Volkswagens here for us today. The Old Dominion chapter, the Coca-Cola Collector Club. That's interesting.
How you doing?
Some of the members there giving Blaine a special shout out,
They're
saying
riding
hello.
in style. That's a cool look.
Maybe if you're nice, they'll take you for a ride.
Okay, let's go. Let's hop in. All right, we move on to the Warriors.
Yeah.
The Warriors and the Black Employee Network, they're Amazon affinity groups composed of veterans, African-American employees, and their mission is to support the Hampton Roads veteran community. And they're strong in numbers and in voice
And
as
they
well.
have a pup.
And there's a pup.
That's the best part. Well, no, the people are the best part, but also I love
You're
that
a
there's
dog.
an animal.
You're a dog lady at heart.
I'm a dog mom. What can I say? Can't help but give them a shout out too if they're here supporting. We also have FRA branch number 37 Portsmouth. It's a congressionally chartered nonprofit organization that represents all interests of the Sea Service. So they just passed right behind the Warriors Bennett Amazon.
And then we have another group. Now, hopefully you're ready to start moving in a minute, Aaron, because we've got an exciting group up, the SBM Fitness and Dance LLC. We've got some dancers. These are line dancers from all over the community stepping out to step in our community.
Are you kidding me? I was born to move. I can't say that I'm good at it. They are probably significantly better than I. That's why they are in the parade, and I'm sitting here talking about them. But still, when they come by, you better believe that I'm going to be getting my groove on.
Okay.
Maybe
well,
a movement of the shoulders.
A little shoulder
a little
shimmy. I mean, that's what we got going on right here. They're having a grand time here, too.
Oh, they are. Look at them hyping up the crowd like that.
Porlisha Brown, Alva Todd, Linda Gray, some of the folks responsible for SBM Dance and Fitness LLC.
She says, go veterans, go baby.
An excited bunch. We love to see it. Big smiles from our friends at SBM Fitness and Dance LLC.
In a day that can be somber, it's really great to see so many lively people here thanking our veterans in a unique way.
It's also good to see the kids out and about, too. So many children involved today. We've got Court Street Academy passing us right now. Court Street Academy is a private Christian school established back in 1965. Pre-K through 3rd grade and a summer fun program as well. Our friends at Court Street Academy right down the street here in Portsmouth.
And they got bubbles.
They brought their own bubble maker. Listen, when all else fails, bring bubbles.
I gotta find them to find out where they got that.
It's pretty neat, huh?
Next up, we have the Associates, the organization. ASO is a nonprofit organization that helps the homeless, at-risk individuals, reentry program, and crime prevention services in the city of Portsmouth. We know all very important organizations for people that are here in the city and surrounding areas too, because if there's one thing about Hampton Roads, it's transient and we all help each other.
You know, yeah, the issues that face military families and veteran families, they don't know borders. They don't stop at the Portsmouth city line. They don't stop in Virginia Beach. And so I love that we're seeing some folks from across the region here today, not only showing their support for veterans and for those who have given their lives, but also to the folks here who are just coming in that are civilians. It's great to see. All right, up next here as they breeze on by. That's a big flag.
Yeah, these are the U.S. flag runners,
Yeah.
Blaine, and wouldn't you know that they are a local patriotic organization? And in case you can't tell, what they do is they
Yeah,
hang
please
flags.
spell it out. What do they do?
They hang flags on the back of their trucks or their vehicles, and they're typically U.S.-related flags. You see Army, the American flag there. There's a POW, MIA there as well, and they just show some big support for the military, and you can't miss them. You really can't.
I was going to say, there is no mistaken when they are around. So there they are, the flag folks with the giant flags, all different kinds there. Some are big enough to be sails.
And I think this is a nationwide organization as well, but this is just the Virginia chapter, the 757 chapter that is here with us today, representing Virginia here in Portsmouth at the 2023 Memorial Day Parade.
I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it.
Don't say it then.
But we're at, let's see, it's 11:18. We're an hour and 18 minutes in. Weather's held up nicely. It's turning out to be an incredible day. And we have another band treating us with a performance coming up real soon. Want to say hello to the New Generation Band. You see the Marching Warriors, their banner there, as these two folks lead the rest of the band coming down the street here in Old Town Portsmouth. New Generation is a community band. They are not new to this parade. They've been part of this for 30 years, directed by Lionel Hines, a talented group of folks here.
One thing that I love about this parade, Blaine, is that we have people of all ages.
Yeah.
We've got kids here participating. We have, everybody.
We've got grown folk
We've got
here as
grown
well.
folks.
Yeah.
We've got, everybody in between. And so it's really cool to see everybody coming together for such an important day for our community and everybody across the country.
And putting on a great show for us here, too, the New Generation Band.
Blue's my favorite color, so I want to ask them where they got these sparkly blue outfits.
Is it not too late to change your bridesmaids' dresses to that for the wedding?
It might have to be. They could be my something blue.
Okay. There you go. All right. New Generation Band, you've got a gig if you're interested.
Go girls. Go boys. Go, everybody.
All right, as we enjoy the sounds of the New Generation Band, up next, the Irreverent Warriors of Virginia Beach. So, I really support this mission. This is unique. They bring veterans together using humor and camaraderie to improve mental health in an effort to prevent veteran suicide. You know, we have such a huge problem in active duty and among our veterans when it comes to mental health and suicide risk. That it's important to talk about that as much and as openly as possible, and these folks do an amazing job of that.
And they also give job placement, training, housing, and so many more services, so it's great to see them represented out here today. Who you're seeing on your screen right now is
Boys to Men. Now, not the group from the 90s.
The Mentoring Academy.
Yeah, it's not Motown Philly. We're talking Boys to Men of 757.
Yeah, they are dedicated to mentoring and modeling to young men's fundamental qualities of manhood that will help them become better students and citizens.
I
they
love
have
that.
Some style.
Oh, a common theme in a lot of these groups here, especially with the kids, is giving kids something to do, right? You know, we've done so many stories, particularly here in the city of Portsmouth, but really all across Hampton Roads, looking at what our kids can do that's positive, that keeps them out of trouble, that keeps them out of danger. We've seen so many groups, from the dance teams, from the mentoring groups, from the bands, from the sports groups, the football, the soccer, things to keep our kids occupied so they stay out of trouble.
Yeah, keeping them occupied and providing good role models too. I mean, as important as it is to have these organizations for kids, it's just as important to have mentors that step in and volunteers that give their time. And it's so commendable, the people that work long hours and then they help out the kids.
It is incredible to see. So we're thankful for people like that here in our community who are doing great things. Want to welcome our next group here, and this is Impulse Arts Academy. Impulse is a performing arts and mentorship company. They're based in Suffolk, right down the road, offering dance classes and twirl classes.
Oh, I love a twirl.
Do you love a twirl?
I love a twirl.
They've got hip-hop, jazz, majorette, and baton twirling of all ages. Were you a twirler as a kid?
I was not. I was like a baton twirler, like in my own time. Like I did have a baton and I twirled it.
You were a freelance baton twirler?
I was a freelance baton
You weren't part of an organization, but you could find yourself twirling on any given afternoon.
I would like twirl at my brother's baseball games.
I'm sure he loved that.
I was never hired for any gig, so I don't know if I would make it with the Impulse Arts Company, but maybe they could teach me a thing or two about twirling.
Well, I feel like they're the ones to watch out for when it comes to twirling, when it comes to dancing as well. The Impulse Arts Academy out of Suffolk. I mean, they have better moves than me, so I'm impressed already.
Oh, and we've got some tunes as well.
All right, the Impulse Arts Academy, and up next we have a group called Stop the Violence 757.
This is a group that we have talked about extensively on News 3. We've done several interviews with them. Their main mission really is to provide awareness for gun violence solutions in the city of Portsmouth, but they don't just stay in the city of Portsmouth either. They are often in Norfolk. They go wherever there is an issue and there needs to be somebody to step in and try to talk to young folks. That's where they go.
You know, it's so important that adults are involved when it comes to the kids and helping steer the next generation on the right path. And we have seen that time and time again, so many groups that are here doing just that.
It's cool to see the young people involved too,
Yes.
you know, because you gravitate to what your peers do most of the time.
That's true.
And so what did they say? You're most like the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if your 4 people or 5 people that you're with all the time are part of organizations like this, or they stand for something like that, like stopping the violence in our area, then you're kind of setting yourself up for success.
You know, the more time I spend around the morning team, I agree that you are like the 4 people you spend the most time with, which is you and Miles and Jessica and Jen, and you all made me a better person. So I think that is a great analogy.
We've gotten to the point where Blaine knows what I'm thinking by just a look on my face.
And that should be terrifying for both of us. Stop the violence,
yep.
757. Got a couple of dozen kids out here. You know, they could be home right now playing video games. It's a day off from school, and they've decided that this is where they want to be.
It's important. So thankful to the mentors that are there along with them. Up next down the way, we have a couple other groups that are lining up for us.
I don't want to get you too excited or whipped up in a frenzy, but I'm told that the hottest dance team in the 757 is coming up soon.
I am whipped up in a frenzy now.
Are you whipped up in a frenzy? Now, they're a little ways off, but just start preparing yourself now, I am told.
So if you could visually put that into perspective, what does it whipped up in a frenzy look like?
I don't know that I want to know. I would rather let their performance, let the folks here stick to the performing. We're about, I'm just looking here at the roster, a little more than 2/3 of the way through the parade lineup here. Some 60-plus units all along High Street here in Old Town Portsmouth as we move into, let's see, about an hour and a half into our coverage here of the 2023 Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade.
If you are just joining us, we are so glad that you are taking a bit of your morning, early afternoon to check in on one of the longest running parades in the nation happening right here in beautiful Portsmouth, Virginia. We have a lot of smiling faces, people coming from all different cities surrounding Portsmouth. We have people that have been coming for decades.
Oh, yeah.
We have people that are coming, this is their first time being here, Blaine, and no matter what, it's just really special to see so many people from all walks of life lined up on the same sidewalk cheering for one thing.
And I really hope that you're able to get a taste of what's happening here on TV. You really can't get a feeling unless you're out here in the community, not in the studio, but walking the streets here, meeting people and experiencing an incredible event here in Old Town Portsmouth. All right, are you ready?
There's something special about being in the community, and that's why I say, Blaine, yes, I am ready.
Let's go. It's the hottest dance team of the 757 Creations dance team. Now, in the grand scheme of things, they're still sort of new. Back in 2016 is when they started right here in Portsmouth, and they have an incredible mission, as we have seen a number of these other groups do. Their mission is to empower young people, engaging them in positive events, promoting their academic growth, their achievement, maturity, teamwork, and instilling a work ethic. So let's watch.
I can't help but dance along with them.
You can do that?
No, I'm just kind of bobbing my shoulders. I'm leaving it up to them.
The Creations dance team of Portsmouth entertaining the crowd here.
The hottest dance team in the 757.
It is getting a little hot out here, too. It's the end of May. The humidity's cranked up. The sun is out. No rain.
They're not breaking a sweat, though. They can't be phased. We've got a family walking by and cheering them on. She said, woo!
We've got a front row seat. They stopped right in front of our booth. Certainly worth the wait. The Creations dance team of Portsmouth doing great work.
Who do we have next?
I think we have
the Hampton Roads Base U.S. Marine Veterans Incorporated. Their mission is to perpetuate the memory of our shipmates who gave their lives in the pursuit of their duties while serving their country. And let me just say, as somebody who recently went on a submarine, it is such a unique part of the military and such a unique service that not everybody wants to sign up for. And so we thank the people that sign up to be on a submarine and serve the country that way.
It takes a very special person to commit themselves to a job and a duty like that. So thank you for your service. Up next, definitely one of my favorite parts, we have the Red Hat Society.
I do
Welcome
love
the
them.
High Steppers.
I do love the High Steppers. Every year they are fierce and they come to show it.
Yeah, they are prepared. So just listen to their motto. It's our time. It's all about us. Ain't no stopping us now. We are classy, sassy, and still sparkling, living out our blessed life.
And blessed is with a B. I feel like that's important.
Absolutely. Blessed, not stressed.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. I love your hats. You're welcome. Well, thank you for watching.
She said, Blaine, I see you all the time.
Hopefully she means on the news.
I hope she doesn't.
Gotta love our ladies from the Red Hat Society. High-stepping their way down High Street, high-stepping their way into our hearts.
Next up, I think we see them coming into view now. The Trinity Faith Diamond Praise Dance Ministry. Is that them?
That's
yes, it is. Trinity Faith Diamond Church is here to celebrate this special occasion in the city of Portsmouth. In celebrating the 2023 Memorial Day Parade, they are doing it with worship and praise. If there's one thing that the people here at the Portsmouth Parade 2023 know how to do, it's dance and it's get the crowd involved and going.
Who needs a hype squad when you've got the folks in the parade here?
All you need is Trinity Faith Diamond Praise Dance Ministry.
And we've got some more red hats up next. It is the Bright Stars Red Hat Club. You can see them there waving their flags and hands to honor those who have defended our nation and honoring our fallen heroes on this Memorial Day. Nice bunch, more red hats. We love to see it.
We do love to see it. Also, that is pretty smart. They're using the top of the vehicle.
The sunroof is out.
The sunroof is out. He's through the sunroof and he's using that as the DJ stand.
Listen, that's smart. Oh, we've got a great performance up here. The IC Norcom Versatile 100 Marching Band, the pride of Portsmouth.
Let's listen in.
Also, the Norcom Navy ROTC is with them as well. Good looking bunch right there. From the band to the ROTC, they are looking sharp at Norcom.
So sharp. I'm glad you took over that one because I was too much into the groove. They are so talented. Gosh.
We had, when I was out there earlier before the parade started, some of the folks saying, I'm here to see Norcom and to see the band.
Yeah.
So there you go. And it makes good sense.
Coming up next, we have Gail Hart's Performing Arts Studio, currently located in Chesapeake, one of our neighbors here. It's one of the oldest dance companies, did you know? But it started in Portsmouth, even though it's in Chesapeake now. Founded in 1979 by Miss Gail Hart, who has retired and passed the mantle over to her son, Christopher.
Wonderful group there from Gail Hart's Performing Arts Studio in Chesapeake.
Thank you to everybody that's been watching up to this point as well. We really appreciate your viewership and being here with us on this Memorial Day.
You could be out enjoying the weather right now, but you've decided to spend some time with us and our community here in Portsmouth, and we certainly do appreciate that. Thanks for watching on News 3 and streaming on WTKR.com and the News 3 apps.
Speaking of streaming, my grandpa's streaming live from New Jersey right now. So
Grandpa
hello to
in
my
New
grandpa.
Jersey. Hello to you, sir. Somebody in a FAMU alum car.
Isn't Jessica a FAMU alum?
Jessica Larche is, in fact, an alum.
We can't just breeze over that without giving her a shout out.
We got to represent our girl. Shout out to all the FAMU alum, Florida A&M. All right, who do we have up next? The American Legion, Department of Virginia's 2nd District. So the 2nd District is led by Commander Fred Kinkin, and they do an important job. Speaking of our military veterans, they help our veterans with VA claims, sponsor scholarships for children. They provide Thanksgiving and Christmas baskets to families in need and promote other enrichment programs as well. The American Legion doing some incredibly important work.
And there are chapters of the American Legion all across the area, different states as well. So it's nice to see one of our local chapters here represented.
Absolutely.
2nd District.
So proud to see the work that they do, and it's important, the focus on the quality of life for our military veterans. So many men and women choose to live here in our community after they get out of their military service. And, our veteran population is one of the largest in the country. It's important that we not only remember their service and their sacrifice, but we continue to take care of them. It's part of the debt that we owe them.
Right. We can't just say, okay, thank you for your service. Now, what else can we take from you? We've got to have support for our service members that are here in the community. And that they live here with their families. Like you said, choosing to stay here.
We're certainly fortunate to have them here. This gentleman wakes up with News 3 every morning. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching.
Good morning. All right, we've got our fan club now. We're good to go.
It's so cool to see everybody so excited.
I hope they heard us saying good things about them, too. Got some past post commanders there from the Norfolk Post, Post 5.
Good morning, everybody. On this Memorial Day 2023, we are live here along High Street and Middle Street right now. That's where our little booth is located.
Yeah, just a couple of blocks away from the Elizabeth River, bringing you our coverage of the 2023 Memorial Day Parade, a tradition in Portsmouth since the 1800s, one of the longest running Memorial Day parades in this country. And our nonstop coverage is courtesy of Velocity Clinical Research in Portsmouth. Clinical trials and studies involving vaccines for infectious illness or medications for conditions like acne, diabetes, high cholesterol, and more. Thanks to our friends at Velocity Clinical Research in Portsmouth.
Thanks for everybody that is tuning in, live streaming us, watching on air or at WTKR.com. Thank you to everybody that came out and is here in person showing support on this Memorial Day.
Weather has certainly held out. Early this morning, we started the news at 5 o'clock. It was rainy, it was cloudy, it was foggy, it was downright cold and windy and miserable. The clouds parted around 8 or 9 o'clock when we got out here. The sun started to shine, and we have incredible weather that has been going on ever since this thing started more than an hour and a half ago at 10 o'clock.
I think it's because the weather gods knew that this was an important day and that the people needed this. Everybody in the community needed this. It's a way to come together remembering the fallen, but also in the midst of the grief or whatever heaviness this day might feel for you, being able to share that with others and be with the community and not feel alone or however you might be feeling on a day like today.
And there's so many other events going on across Hampton Roads in case case you would like to perhaps take part in something that might be closer to you. Maybe you're not here in Portsmouth. If you check out WTKR.com, we have an entire list of all of the Veterans Day events, Memorial Day events rather, happening across the 7 cities and in northeastern North Carolina as a way for you to be able to connect if there's something a little bit closer to you. But we're certainly happy to be able to provide this service to you today, bringing you live coverage of the Memorial Day Parade here in Portsmouth, so you don't even have to leave the couch.
Yeah, it makes it really easy for people that way. And like you said, this is going on until noon, so there's the rest of the afternoon ahead that you might want to take advantage of. So go see what other events are happening at WTKR.com.
Got some cool motorcycles here. I've never ridden a motorcycle.
Oh, I've ridden a motorcycle.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're a biker gal?
So my grandfather was a big Harley Davidson guy.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So you'd feel comfortable just cruising down the street on one of those, looking cool?
I mean, my mom didn't let me go further than like around the block.
Fair enough.
She really put a stop to that, but yeah, it's so cool. It's nice to see them out here being safe and to see these awesome vehicles move.
I'm looking at all the kids right now, and their faces are all lit up. They're loving the bikes.
They're like, whoa, can I come on? Get a sidecar. Let me ride along.
That might be more my speed now.
A little sidecar.
Yeah, the older I get.
And our next group is there in the distance in just a couple moments or so as they make their way a little bit closer to our cameras. We are going to say hello to the Nansemond River High School Band. A close-up for you there. Hello, Nansemond River High School Band.
The Warrior Band.
Yeah, Blaine, did you know that their motto is excellence is the standard and not the goal? They are under the direction, by the way, of Mr. Edward Woodis.
Nansemond River proudly representing Suffolk here in our Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade. Let's check out what they have in store for us. Oh, they sound great, right?
Oh, I can't stop dancing along. It's so impressive to see what these marching bands are able to do.
Yeah, the excellence, in fact, is the standard with Nansemond River, so they certainly live up to their motto. Perseverance, respect, integrity, discipline, excellence, some of the tenets there of their Nansemond River Warrior Pride.
And they sure do have the pride today.
Okay, up next we have Grace Entwined Ministries. This is a group founded by Pastor James Gilmore Sr. and Gail Gilmore. Pastor's a veteran of the U.S. Army and the Virginia National Guard. They're out of Portsmouth. They say you'll find real love at the gym.
You beat me to it. I was just about to tell our viewers that.
You can tell them too.
We're on the same page. They say you'll find the real love at the gym.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool to hear. Some smiling faces there on this float representing Portsmouth very proudly.
And again, you see everybody has little American flags, which is very cool to see how patriotic.
Yeah, there's a group of sailors from the shipyard, I believe, and that's their mission. They're passing out flags to everybody.
They're always so kind how they do that every year.
Absolutely.
Oh, who do we have next?
Oh, we've got some cowboys. You were just looking at the Faith with Works School of Dance, by the way, from Jasmine Perkins. They've been around for about 9 years. And yes, the Star Status Cowboys connection of Hampton Roads.
I love this. Okay, there's a Dallas Cowboys fan club in Hampton Roads, and they say they are collected of over 200 people in the community.
Okay, so Super Bowl this year? Okay, they're saying Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl this year. You heard it here first. We them boys. Okay, they said we can join.
Listen, I don't want to stir up a controversy, but I got to be loyal to the Giants.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about it.
I think you might have started a little controversy right there. All right, next we have from Norfolk, the pride of Norfolk Public Schools, the Booker T. Washington Band. Let's listen.
Booker T. Washington showing us what they are made of, and it is spirit and good moves.
Gotta love it. We've got the band, you've got some of the flag team there, some of the cheer and pep squad. Sounded good. We've had so many great bands
I know.
pass by.
It's been fun to sit and listen to them and really just take it in for a moment.
Well, this is our last group here.
Oh, these are your favorites.
These are my boys, the 757 Mini Bike Riders. Group of community mentors in Hampton Roads. They rebuild and customize all these bikes.
Yeah, and if you weren't watching, you missed them because they are so quick. Zoomed
Well, they're
right
mini
on
bikes,
by.
you know.
They're mini bikes and they're quick.
You know they're coming because they're a little loud. They get your attention, right?
Yeah.
And then they just whiz on by.
So cool to see them here as our last group rounding out the 2023 Memorial Day Parade here along High Street in Portsmouth. I can't believe how many incredible groups and units and teams and bands and everybody that we saw show up today. I mean, it's awesome what a parade can do for a community.
And as we look at some of the cleanup crews here along the parade right now, it's important to point out that, how you doing? Well, all right, so as we look here at some of the cleanup crews, it's important to remember all of the city workers, the public service workers who have dedicated their time to helping out with this event today. It is certainly a Herculean task to put on a parade of this magnitude. And so from the sheriff's deputies, we've seen police officers out here, of course, all the military folks who are volunteering and serving their time as well to make this happen. So this was really a team effort and an A+ when it comes to teamwork and getting this all together.
And I'll just say, I'm sure this was a great boost for a lot of the businesses that are here along High Street. There's a cafe right on the corner, the coffee shop.
Yeah, that coffee shop's been packed.
It's amazing, and the food and the coffee is delicious, so they have been getting a lot of foot traffic there. Bangkok Garden is right behind us, so I hope people will stay and grab some lunch, and just really take some time to enjoy Portsmouth if they don't normally spend time here.
And the ferry is operating on its normal service, so a lot of folks might have taken the ferry over from Norfolk to get over here. It's certainly a beautiful day for that. I know coming up in a few minutes on News 3 at noon, our first warning weather team is going to look ahead at the forecast for not only the rest of today, because there is, I think, a little more rain in the forecast, and we have managed to get the parade in rain-free, and that is incredible.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of other events across Hampton Roads that are probably happening this afternoon, and I hope that the rain holds off for them, of course, but I'm just very glad that we had a successful parade this morning. Starting at 10 o'clock is when the folks started leaving IC Norcom High School and making their way down High Street, and it was so special to be here. Yeah,
it really is. This is our second year of bringing live coverage of the parade here on News 3 and on WCKR.com. Looking back, I think in addition to whatever it might actually be in the parade, some of the best things are just the people who are gathered around and really enjoying a time to remember our military service members, and it's a moment of community as well.
And we talk a lot about our veterans and all that is available to people if they join the service, but we really want to talk about mental health for a second if we can. It's so important that we provide services for people, veterans that are living in our community. So the Virginia Department of Veteran Services has the Virginia Veteran and Family Support. They have outreach and connection. There are different resources available, confidential services offered. If you need somebody to talk to, if you need help finding housing, there are resources available to help you in this area to make the transition from being in the military a little bit easier. And also for family members that may have lost someone, there are resources that are available to help you get through the tough days ahead. And
our Brendan Ponton's been reporting on the issue of military service members and mental health as well. If you check out WCKR.com, his coverage, particularly over the past couple of weeks even, focusing on new efforts by the Navy to make sure that service members stationed here are taken care of, not only physically, but also their mental well-being. That is part of a renewed focus in the armed forces in 2023.
Yeah, and the sailors and military members that I've talked to say that it is so encouraging to actually hear that this conversation is even happening. They say for so long it was just obsolete. That wasn't something that you talked about. You didn't talk about your feelings. And so, that the fact that it is being normalized and legislation has been passed and bills are being introduced, I know for some people at least that I've spoken with personally say that this is a really big step forward.
You mentioned a little while ago, Aaron, that the number of people who've come out to line High Street here to see the parade. And it's interesting because it ended about 5 minutes ago, and there's still tons of folks still hanging around, which is great news for places up and down High Street here in Old Town Portsmouth, that perhaps, even though it's a holiday, we might get some new faces into some of these businesses.
I hope so. And it's just, sometimes you go in there for a quick drink, you need a glass of water, or you want to go and have lunch, and then you end up, it becomes one of your favorite places. And there are so many different options that are here along High Street and even off the main strip too.
As a former Old Town Portsmouth resident, I can tell you there are a lot of hidden gems in this neighborhood. So if you haven't been to Old Town Portsmouth in a while, free commercial.
I know.
Come on out and check them out. So we've sat in these chairs now for the past 90 minutes or so, looking back at the parade and what you saw along the route. Any highlights stick out to you?
I really love the bands. The bands are my favorite, and I love being out in the community and saying hello to people, whether they know us or they are just like waving and excited to be out and about on a beautiful Memorial Day. That's my favorite part, is meeting people and listening to the bands. What about you?
I think the bands, of course, entertainment-wise, certainly the best. But I love seeing all the young people out on the parade route too. We said before, they could be anywhere today. It's a day off from school. They could have slept in. Instead, they came out here, they learned their dance routines or their band routines or whatever it is they were doing. They worked hard to put on a show for us. And not only that, but also to remember the reason that we are here, marking and respecting those who made the ultimate sacrifice. So I think to see the participation by the young folks in this event today is really heartwarming.
Well, in days like this, you mentioned a little bit earlier that they don't just pop up and come together. It takes a lot of time and planning and resources and coordination to be able to make this event happen. So just a really big shout out to the city of Portsmouth, to everybody who helped clean the streets in preparation for people to come out, to the businesses for creating welcoming environments for people that do want to stay, the police department that is blocking the streets, and making sure that nothing happens that it shouldn't.
Absolutely. And if you joined us late, we were jam-packed ever since 10 o'clock this morning here on WTKR. So coming up throughout the day on WTKR.com, right on our homepage, you'll be able to relive some of the moments from today's events in case there was a particular marching band or group that you wanted to see and perhaps you did not catch them. You can go back and watch that coverage. Also, News 3 reporter Penny Commit has been out here up and down the route while we've been doing our live coverage of the parade, not only getting a bird's eye view of what's going on the ground, but also talking with more of the people and watching this exciting and really touching event through their eyes.
Yeah, and we have done our very, very best to try to make sure that we touched on every single performer or unit that was coming through on this Memorial Day parade. So if you did happen to be looking out for a loved one and they didn't make the camera, know that we weren't slighting anybody. We were just doing our best to provide full coverage, and we do appreciate you watching, and hope that they get some flowers waiting for them at home after they finish their performances.
Yeah, there were hundreds and hundreds, probably actually more like thousands of folks who were out here donating their time. And it's not just at 10 o'clock when the parade starts. They're out here hours before lining up, practicing, things like that. We got a shout out to all the flags that have been up and down the parade route here. So many American flags, large ones, small ones.
Yeah, there was even American flags on socks and shirts. What, Sue? I think Sue was the first
Our friend
woman
Sue,
that
who
you
we
talked
met
to.
just after 10 o'clock, with the flag and the bald eagle there on her shirt. I am just so impressed after a few days of almost dreading what the weather was going to be like today.
Yeah.
The fact that we made this out rain-free, it's a miracle.
There was one family that you were talking to earlier in the programming, I guess around 10 o'clock, and it was a mom with her two boys, and their dad was going to be in the parade. And one thing that she said that really stuck with me was she said, what does Daddy do? He protects our country. And that is the big takeaway that I really hope that our viewers and anybody that is just existing today takes away, is that this is about honoring our fallen service members, the families, and really people that sign up to serve our country and protect us, so we have this right.
The sacrifices that they make, and sadly, I've been here in Hampton Roads for almost 17 years. You meet families who have in fact suffered that unthinkable loss, a loved one who is serving overseas perhaps, and they don't get to come home. They lay down their lives for this country. I know personally friends with the Childers family in Chesapeake, and Cody Childers, who is a Marine, and he lost his life overseas. I want to say that was maybe 10, 11 years ago. My math's a little fuzzy, but just looking back at all the names and the families you meet, it really comes back on a day like today. And it is striking in a good way to see how many people were out here, whether it's a sign of patriotism physically with a flag or something like that, or just the stories that they shared in their hearts, to know that whatever differences we may have in this country, at the end of the day, this is something that can unite us and bring us together as one, and really show a true spirit of community. I mean, Hampton Roads would not be what it is without our military community. And so for us to be able to give back even on this small way is something that should be noted.
I think today's a really important day to, if you have extra time, make a meal, bring a dish to a friend. If you know that there's somebody that lives in the neighborhood, just offering a nice hand forward, because sometimes you don't want to ask for help.
Right.
Even though we talk about all the resources available, you might not want to ask for help. So let's just be proactive, and let's take that today and see how much we can use that in our everyday lives to just be proactive for our service members, because like you said, everybody is touched by it.
Channel the spirit that we're feeling here, and let us power that into the days and weeks ahead. We don't want to leave all that goodwill just on the street here in Old Town Portsmouth. So, just be a little nice to somebody today.
We did get a little deep just there, but I just am really excited, and I had a really nice morning with you. I thought that this was a really great event for the city of Portsmouth, and it was very special to be here alongside with you to do it again for a second year in a row.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure here at News 3 and WTKR.com to be in the community. News does not happen inside a news studio and behind an anchor desk. And that is why our News 3 journalists are here in the community in Portsmouth today and across Hampton Roads every day, doing our part to share your stories, getting to meet you, and to reflect the true picture of Hampton Roads.
And I would be remiss if we did not give a shout out to our engineers, our photojournalists, everybody that is here on scene working to make all of this happen for us, setting up lighting, setting up the booth, and really making this possible to bring you this live broadcast of the 2023 Portsmouth Memorial Day Parade.
Thanks for joining us today. For all of us here at News 3, including Aaron Miller, I'm Blaine Stewart. News 3 at noon is coming up next.